Let's get it, man. Took a little tag this morning, managed to get it back. But yeah, let's lock in and focus on this account, man. I don't really know, man. We had this big move up. I knew this was a demand zone. The only thing that faked me out was this big move down. I was like, okay, below 50%, probably coming down here, maybe coming into this Sunday open imbalance where we just shot straight up, basically just did the same thing. Yeah, I took nothing on this, man. Like zero. I didn't want to chase it. Oh my lord, 96-point move. We haven't gotten a pull back to the EMAs yet, which is what I'd be waiting for. This is a 10-minute CBC flip, which closes in 15 seconds. Just so we see the calendar for what's on today, we have Jerome Powell testifies, whatever that means. I'm sure there was something else. Yeah, this was added today randomly. President Trump speaks, tentative, whatever that means. Here we go. So CBC is bullish, and of course, according to the strategy and everything, we wait for them pullbacks. I'm gonna go one contract. Ideally, this is where I would like to enter. Ideally, just in case it wants to pull back really aggressively, or right here at 51, which would be this, which would be VWAP, which would be 50%. So I mean, let's try it. Let's try 51. See if we get a bounce from here, if it wants to give it to us, that is. Yeah, one contract long. We are targeting 30 points. Stop loss is going to be below. I'm going to give it 10-point stop loss. Let's see. Problem is, this is the London orb, so we could get a push up. I just know yeah, it's looking like it's bouncing off the London orb high, which is unfortunate. I just know that the probability of it coming down, the probability of it moving in my favor from the EMAs is more likely. And then look at this, EMAs are testing here now as well. They haven't fully crossed yet. They could open up, but would love to see that pullback. That pullback would be real sweet. And yeah, I guess I'll be targeting maybe back to orb high. Maybe we'll get the bill breaker. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, this would be perfect target, like right here. Or ideally, if you wanted to come and target the supply high up here or previous day orb at 809, 835. Yeah, exit like right here though. 71, 830 is where I'd exit. Yeah, this would be like a perfect exit right here. That'd be 80 points. Yeah, either I don't know if we're gonna come to VWAP, but it's just like, yeah, VWAP would be nice. Only problem is I wouldn't want to get stopped out here, so I don't know, maybe if I leave it for 20 points, a 20-point stop loss would be better. Who knows? Like this morning, I felt like I don't trade pre-market. Yeah, I don't trade pre-market, but I took a couple trades because I saw opportunities. That's half 50% of this body. Yeah, it didn't even come down to this line right here. That would have been a good entry as well. 62. Almost 20. There you go, 25 points. Oh, if it came down here. Whereas this is just 20 points. Even that's really good. That's, yeah. Like I said, Trump speaks. Here we go. London orb is, I mean, the 15-minute orb is about to set. And we are pushing. It looks like we want to break out of that. And I'm not going to get my entry. This account is actually eligible for a payout. So if I make $500 on this account, I could even be done trading for the day. But yeah, literally I'm coming back green to pretty much break even right now. Only thing I don't want is there we go, it's crossed over now. Only thing I don't want is we've seen big moves up like this, followed by big moves right back down, which is insane. So yeah, this is looking like an inside candle. If it doesn't break over this in 4 minutes, there's going to be an inside candle, and then we could take this candle high on a third candle if it breaks above it. But let's see if he wants to stay within it or not, or if he wants to break out of it. Yeah, now look at this. This has now moved up significantly. So now I don't know if I'd be inclined to take this because it already bounced off the London orb. Or if I'd wait for a deeper pullback. Oh, there we go, 15-minute set. This looks like it wants to be an inside bar. It looks like he wants to break. Okay, 2 minutes left on this candle. Let's see what it wants to do. I feel like it wants to pull back. Give it the pullback. I think I'm going to take it. Here we go. Ideally, within the body of the EMA would even be better, to be honest. But I'm going to keep it pretty tight. So if we fall beneath, I'll go this candle low. Then I'll be exiting. Just because we could push down further within to the body of the EMA. Here we go. I want a precise entry. 4 seconds until this candle closes. Didn't want to tap me in. It could go. It could definitely go, but let's see if it taps me in. CBC is now short, but it's not into bullish EMAs. It didn't hit into the EMAs. So I don't know if we could potentially fall down or if it could just go. Come on, tap me in. I'm trying to be patient here. Like extra patient. Come on. You know you want to. Tap me in. Give me a good entry. There we go. Come on. Volume is decreasing as well, so I mean shorts could potentially come in. Come on, dog. It's not gonna give it to me. I'm okay with sitting on hands. Like, there we go, it's gonna go. And it's catching up now. I mean, all you had to do was just come and it taps it usually. So now this is an inside bar. So do we get continuation above this or not? Here we go. What you want to do, what you want to do. Like I said, it's going to be very tight. I want to be wrong instantly. Come on, man. Maybe that was it. I feel like that was it, and it's not going to tap it, and I've missed the opportunity now. Yeah. Yeah. There we go, because now it came back down to this. Oh, well. Oh, man. 77, 87. I don't want to chase the all break. There we go. Gone. 97. Nonsense. Yeah. See? All I wanted was it for it to come. Where was it? Like here? That's all I wanted. And just given 30 points. That's $600 per contract. That's what I would have needed for today, to be honest. No. That's the 15-minute orb. Let me just do this one. Orb. High. 30-minute. Now this looks like an inverted hammer. Oh, and then that's the previous day all high as well. Interesting. I don't know. I mean, I could try it and see if it does it. But I feel like this trade has been negated already. We have 5 minutes until Powell speaks. There we go. Let's see. I'll just go for the higher this candle. Oh, where was my other at 10? Yeah. I'm putting my stop loss right beneath here. I don't trust this. It's either going to come back down or it's going to respect it. So let's see what happens. Looking for 30 points. I want to move. If we get 10 points and I want to move to break even, or I'll move to 5 points. But I don't know. Here we go, 10 points. Almost. A break even. Oh, that's perfect tap. You know, I'm just going to take 10 points for another trade. So now I'm basically break even on this account now. Well, I'm back up on this account. And Powell speaks in 3 minutes, so I'm going to have to wait before I take another trade. Yeah, good 10-point gain cover from that bounce. Oh, my head is like part of me feels like, hold on 1 second. Yeah, I was looking for that move to happen instantly. Yeah, part of me feels like this isn't a $200 or more day, but part of me feels to not even trade this account again. How many trades have I taken on this account? Seven trades. That's 2 trades too many, basically. 2 trades too many. But I'm gonna continue trading. Basically, yeah, I need to make another 250 basically, and only because I want to get a payout before the end of the week. So I'm not being greedy or anything. I just have to make sure that the setups I take is correct and everything. Yeah, look, another rejection of the 15-minute orb. Now we're in the body. This would have been a perfect entry for me. It would have given me, I think, 20 points probably, because I took 10 out of it, 23 points. Yeah, I took 10 points from it, so not complaining. So now power speaking in literally 1 minute, so some in 10 seconds, so literally some kind of volatility or something is going to happen. Let's see what happens. Are you locked in? See, look at that. Came down here, went up, and now it wants to do some nonsense. Wow. Yeah. Stay away from these news events, red folder, whatever, man. It's just not even worth it. You get caught on the wrong side of it, safe. Say bye to your account. Just know that. And then look, it just, oh yeah, hit my target. This is what I wanted from when I entered here. Like I wanted this to come straight up here, but it didn't do that for me. You know, but this is chop. This right here is chop. Like this is chop. I need to close out of this before I be comfortable to take another trade. And also day prior to CPI, don't really need to risk my other accounts. You know, like boom, this was a slow, choppy grind down. I saw the whole of London just, there was a couple trade. This trade I could have taken, and then yeah, I think that was the only one. This trade I really saw us flip and everything, and I thought, yeah, would have been a good trade to take, but I didn't take it. Are we locked in? He ain't even spoken yet, and then its price is just rocketing. I would love to see us come into this imbalance though. So it's like, what do we do? Do I take the next?
Good morning. This committee will come to order.
Here we go.
Chair Powell, thank you for being with us today. I appreciate your willingness to have a chat with us about some of the really important issues facing our country. Without question, the Federal Reserve serves a critical role in the function of our government and the global economy. You have the ability to influence markets and directly impact the financial future of hundreds of millions of Americans. That is why the Federal Reserve is supposed to be an independent institution free from politics. But in recent reality, the Fed has been susceptible to political pressure. Take, for example, the Fed's involvement in the Network for Greening the Financial System, a group dedicated to green financing and climate change, which the Fed joined in December 2020 as President Biden was about to assume office. Just last month,
I don't like how all of this is sounding already, you know?
As President Trump was getting ready to be sworn in. To the American people, this is flip-flopping in the political wind. Too much focus on climate change instead of supervision is consequential. And in March, just 2 years ago, we saw the failure of Silicon Valley Bank. SVB marked the third largest bank failure in U.S. history and the largest since the 2008 financial crisis. And yet not a single federal regulator was held to account. In fact, the FDIC filed a lawsuit against bank executives, which accused the SVB of egregious mismanagement. And I agree.
Another CBC tap is coming up.
That no bank supervisor has faced any consequences.
Maybe we get
30 MRAs and MRIAs that never had timely action at SVB. How can the people who are supposed to be our cops on the beat have not faced any recourse for such egregious failures? I simply don't understand. We must all address the fact that over the last 4 years, the Biden administration and Bidenomics have devastated, decimated, and destroyed hardworking families' abilities to support themselves. During Joe Biden's time in office, overall prices rose by over 20%, Energy prices, 34%.
Yeah, this is not
Transportation
sounding
costs,
good. I'm gonna stay away from this.
31%.
I'm gonna trade this on
Groceries,
Sim.
22%. But that's not all. Thanks to Bidenomics, 2/3 Americans have
According to
less than
CBC, should be going long here. If this flips
less than $1,000 in their savings accounts.
or closes outside the
But there
EMA,
is good news. Things are going to get better. During his first term, President Trump kept his promises to the American people. In the first 3 years of his presidency, President Trump built the most inclusive economy ever. 7 million jobs created, and
but
2/3
realistically, I wouldn't want it
African
to come
Americans, and
below
Hispanics.
this.
It's time to once again make America's economy work for the folks working paycheck to paycheck. Joe Biden broke our economy, and Donald Trump will fix it. For too long, bank regulators have followed a black box regulatory framework with little to no recourse. The FDIC, under President Trump's leadership, recently released never before seen
Yeah, this is really volatile.
documents, which confirmed that Biden's Operation Choke Point 2
They like flashed 10
was
points
real,
and then just
despite
didn't give it again.
assurances that these unacceptable practices would end following the Democrats' first Operation Choke Point 1.0. We are seeing an unfair playing field that results in disastrous consequences for legal businesses and law-abiding citizens. On one hand, if you were in the private sector and you do your job poorly,
CBC
you
flipped.
face consequences.
I should be exiting this.
Suspensions, or even being fired.
It's gonna reject.
But if you are within the walls of the federal government, such as a bank regulator, you will face no consequences for your actions. Even
Given
if
6
you
points though.
pressure a bank to cut off services to digital asset firms, political figures, and conservative aligned businesses and individuals. To me, that goes against the principles of fairness and market access. Over the last 2 years, as the ranking member of this committee, I've consistently
There we
argued
go.
that Basel III endgame proposal will raise costs and limit credit access for hardworking Americans. And while I'm glad this proposal was not finalized, the uncertainty surrounding Basel III forced banks to put capital on the sidelines, limiting access to that capital for local small businesses across our country. Now, as chairman, I plan to work to rectify the issues of the Biden administration. Chairman Powell, I look forward to hearing from you on the Federal Reserve's future.
This is just
and the
chalk. I
plan
don't want to
for
be
you have
trading
the
this on my
right
actual
size
funded
in the
account, even though I would have
regulatory
gotten 10
framework
points already.
Specifically around Basel III. To create jobs here in America, we need to make sure there's capital and liquidity in the market. And we also want all Americans, even those growing up in poverty like I did, to know that they can access the capital necessary to start new businesses,
We out of this.
grow existing businesses, buy a home, and pursue their American dream. Chairman, I look forward to your comments and your testimony, and I will simply say that I believe that weaponizing an independent agency like the Fed for liberal positions, from debanking crypto,
Actually, let's take
bank
this.
stress
Let's
tests, and the greening
when he starts talking, I want to see if
financing
anything crazy
is
happens.
not calling balls and strikes as a fair referee. And I hope that we are getting ready to clean that slate, start afresh, and
Watch it.
focus on a healthy economy. Ranking Member Warren.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Oh,
Chair Powell, it is no secret that you and I disagree on the need for
Wow.
strong bank regulation, on monetary policy, and on the Fed's stock trading scandals. We have sharp differences, but I believe you are a principled public servant who cares about this country. We are at an unprecedented moment. Our financial systems are facing huge risks from the economic chaos of President Trump and his co-president, Elon Musk. From on-again, off-again tariffs to on-again, off-again layoffs for tens of thousands of government workers, to on-again, off-again cuts in domestic grain purchases, to on-again, off-again support for medical research. Now, co-president Musk and his OMB director have frozen all work at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. There are now 0 cops overseeing the $18 trillion consumer lending market. 0 cops. Investigations into illegal foreclosures and auto repossessions canceled. Exams of giant credit card issuers to weed out unlawful junk fees canceled. Probes of illegal debt collection practices canceled. Rules to save people billions of dollars canceled. If Musk and his OMB directors succeed in killing the CFPB, it's like putting a sign on every checking account, every credit card, every mortgage application, and every car loan. Cops have been fired. Let the scams begin. That is not all. Musk and his Doge crew are also rooting through the Treasury's most
They called it the
important
Doge
payment
crew.
systems, the financial plumbing that ensures
There we go. CBC has
billions
flipped
of
again on the
payments go
2 minute.
through, from Social Security checks to grants for community health centers. No one has verified how they got this access or what they are doing with it. No one has checked whether Americans' financial data has been
2 minute
copied
EMA
or
risk.
sold for the personal profit of Mr. Musk.
But I won't give it all of
Instead,
this.
we've had a series of misleading and conflicting statements by Treasury Secretary Bessent. After receiving public blowback, it appears that Secretary Bessent is now trying to throw the Federal Reserve under the bus. Secretary Bessent claims that Doge can't meddle with the Treasury's payment systems because ultimately the Fed is in control. Now, I'm not sure whether Secretary Bessent doesn't understand how the system works or if he's just trying to shift the blame to you. But I know he is wrong. The Fed simply executes the transactions that Treasury instructs. If Elon and his hackers, for example, initiate instructions to choke off payments to their enemies, or if they issue instructions to shut down payment for teachers' aides for kids with special needs, the Fed may have no way of knowing that the instructions were manipulated, and the Fed may have no legal method to override them. Chair Powell, the next 18 months may define the legacy and the country's trust in the Fed as an institution. I expect that you will work with Democrats and Republicans in Congress if Doge's next move is to try to commandeer the Fed's payment system. I also expect that you will
she'll be here, yeah. I mean, I'll be here when she's back.
The CFPB. Unlike the Treasury payment instructions, you can see if the CFPB's funding requests have been manipulated. I understand that some extremists have a different view about what the law ought to be, but under the law right now, impoundment is clearly
Yo, she's talking too much. Nice balance. Look, I got 10 points from that.
To this illegal act and forever
there we go, 15
the
points.
reputation of the Fed. Keep the CFPB funded exactly as the law requires. We are in the middle of a crisis as Elon Musk tries to take over our government. But let's also talk for just a minute about your day-to-day job. Meeting the Fed's dual mandate of promoting
CBC is long, the 2 minute is long.
prices.
That's a very good entry. We are up 13 points right now. I would love to see us clear this high. If we can clear this high, then I know then, you know, the possibility of us going higher is good. Again, same thing on ES. 2 minute CBC is long. I just don't like this candle, this data candle pretty much. We have to sweep this either high or low. Pivot point is right there, which we bounced off of, which is good.
Bring down interest rates, beginning with a meaningful rate cut next month.
This is just chop.
Proven you can move quickly
it's just
when it
chop.
is politically expedient. After President Trump was elected, within the space of just a few weeks, you scrubbed seemingly all mention of diversity and inclusion from the Fed's website. You withdrew from an international central bank group
that would have been the 10 points I needed on
climate-related risks
on that account. To be honest,
you instituted a hiring freeze that will limit the number of cops on the Wall Street beat, and you announced plans to gut big bank stress tests. I can see the immediate political
There we go.
appeal
So
of
let's
your
move this to break
strategy,
even or
but ultimately
5
it will
points.
fail. You will
That's
lose
$100
good
bucks.
people. Climate catastrophes will
Let's see if we
continue
keep
to
pushing or
mount,
not.
and the increasing vulnerability of big banks will threaten our
It's
entire
getting dark
economy.
out here.
Sure, Donald Trump may be happier with you right now, but wading deeper into politics
Yeah, it's gonna stop
to
me out.
please him
I really
over the
don't trust
long
this.
run will burn the reputation and the independence
Damn,
of the
okay.
Fed and put our entire economy at risk.
Yeah, you're not coming
I
back down here
urge you,
again.
don't fall into these traps. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, ma'am. Today we'll hear from Chair of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, on the semi-annual monetary policy report to Congress.
Oh, do I
Chair
let
Powell,
it?
thank you for your testimony today, and you are now
Look at
recognized.
that, we're up 20 points right now.
Chairman Scott,
Let me move this to
Ranking Member Warren, and other members of the
12
committee, I
points.
appreciate the opportunity to present the Federal Reserve's semi-annual monetary policy.
Right at the bill breaker.
The Federal Reserve remains squarely focused on achieving our dual mandate goals of maximum employment
Up
and stable
$300
prices
bucks
for the
right
benefit
now.
of the American people. The economy is strong overall and has made significant progress toward our goals over the past 2 years. Labor market conditions have cooled from their formerly overheated state and remain solid. Inflation has moved much closer to our 2% longer run goal, though it remains somewhat elevated. We are attentive to the risks on both sides of our mandate. I will review the current economic situation before turning to monetary policy.
The monetary
Recent
policy is what
indicators
everyone wants to
suggest
hear
that
about.
economic activity has continued to expand at a solid pace. GDP rose 2.5% in 2024.
If I had more than one contract, I'd be scaling, of
bolstered
course.
by resilient consumer spending.
But it's gonna stop. Oh,
Investment in
wow.
equipment and intangibles appears to have declined in the fourth quarter, but was solid for the year overall.
I don't know, man.
Following weakness in the middle of last year, activity in the
I'll
housing
take
sector
13
seems to have
points.
stabilized.
Or should I?
In the
Nah.
labor market, conditions remain solid and appear to have stabilized. Payroll job gains averaged 189,000 per month over the past 4 months. Following earlier increases, the unemployment rate has been steady now since the middle of last year, and at 4% in January remains low. Nominal wage growth has eased over the past year, and the jobs to workers gap has narrowed. Overall, a wide set of indicators suggests that conditions in the labor market are broadly in balance. The labor market is not a source of significant inflationary pressures. The strong labor market conditions in recent years have helped narrow longstanding disparities in employment and earnings across demographic groups. Inflation has eased significantly over the past 2 years, but remains somewhat elevated relative to our 2% longer-term goal. PCE prices rose 2.6% over the 12 months ending in December, and excluding the volatile food and energy categories, core PCE prices rose 2.8%. Longer-term inflation expectations appear to remain well anchored, as reflected in a broad range of surveys of households, businesses, and forecasters, as well as measures from financial markets. Our monetary policy actions are guided by our dual mandate to promote maximum employment and stable prices for the American people. Since last September, the FOMC lowered the policy rate by a full percentage point from its peak, after having maintained the target range for the federal funds rate at 5.25% to 5.5% for 14 months. That recalibration of our
I was
policy
just gonna
stance
take
was
that as
appropriate
well.
in light of the progress on inflation and the cooling in the labor market. Meanwhile, we've continued to reduce our securities holdings. With our policy stance now significantly less restrictive than it had been, and the economy remaining strong, we do not need to be in a hurry to adjust our policy stance. We know that reducing policy restraint too fast or too much could hinder progress on inflation. At the same time, reducing policy restraint too slowly or too little could unduly weaken economic activity and employment. In considering the extent and timing of additional adjustments to the target range for the federal funds rate, the FOMC will assess incoming data, evolving outlook, and the balance of risks. As the economy evolves, we will adjust our policy stance in a manner that best promotes our maximum employment and price stability goals. If the economy remains strong and inflation does not continue to move sustainably toward 2%, we can maintain policy restraint for longer. If the labor market were to weaken unexpectedly or inflation were to fall more quickly than anticipated, we can ease policy accordingly. We are attentive to the risks on both sides of our dual mandate, and policy is well positioned to deal with the risks and uncertainties that we face. This year, we are conducting the second periodic review of our monetary policy strategy, tools, and communications, the framework used to pursue our congressionally mandated assigned goals of maximum employment and stable prices. The focus of this review is on the FOMC's statement on longer run goals and monetary policy strategy, which articulates the committee's approach to monetary policy, and on the committee's policy communication tools. The committee's 2% longer run inflation goal will be retained and will not be a focus of the review. Our review will include outreach and public events involving a wide range of parties, including Fed Listens events around the country.
He wants to
and a
reject the
research
org.
conference in
Yeah.
We will take on board lessons of the past 5 years and adapt our approach where appropriate to best serve the American people to whom we are accountable. We intend to wrap up the review by late summer. Let me conclude by emphasizing that at the Fed, we'll do everything we can to achieve our dual mandate goals that Congress has set for monetary policy. We remain committed to supporting maximum employment, bringing inflation sustainably to our 2% goal, and keeping longer-term inflation expectations well anchored. Our success in delivering on these goals matters to all Americans. We understand that our actions affect communities, families, and businesses across the country. Everything we do
Damn, I should have
is in
just
service
held
to
it
our
a little bit longer.
Thank you. I look forward to your questions.
Thank you, Jeff. Certainly your words and your actions have a global impact. You have the opportunity and
Yeah, I
responsibility
just
of
showed it a
leading this
little bit
country
too
in the right
tight on that
direction
one, to be
economically,
honest.
and I thank you for your commitment to having a conversation with all of us about how you do that well. You and I had a conversation yesterday. Some of it was frustrating, some of it was illuminating. But in the end, my goal is to make sure that the American people, specifically those working paycheck to paycheck, have more opportunities to succeed, not fewer. You have said that the Fed is not against innovation, and banks are perfectly able to serve crypto customers as long as they understand and can manage the risks. Yet you have admitted that
Yeah, look at the bounce of the 20, 9 minute 20.
Banks engaging in crypto activities.
Yeah.
Last week, I held a hearing on debanking and once again heard the federal banking agencies, particularly
I only took it because of this rejection. I was like, okay, we failed to push back up. It looks like my entry could have been a little bit better. This looks like we're coming back down, to be honest.
Debanking is a top priority for this committee, and it certainly is for me.
I don't know. I'm not gonna take another trade right now.
Will you commit to working with this committee to end debanking?
But I feel like probably we do come back
working with the
down.
new Vice Chair of Supervision, once appointed, to revise the Federal Reserve supervision manuals to remove reputational risk as a tool to weigh in on political topics.
I'll keep this.
I'm happy to make that commitment.
Thank you, sir.
Above the height of this candle.
Accountability is very important. I would like to
Yeah.
think accountability is a priority for everyone, especially the Fed, given that failures in Fed supervision can result in the loss of billions of dollars. Yet following the failure of the Silicon Valley Bank, which was in part due to the failures of its regulators to identify egregious mismanagement of interest rate and liquidity risks, we have yet to see any regulators be held accountable. And as you all, that was a point of my frustration, that as a guy who spent a lot of time in the private sector, 15 years running a few businesses, I can tell you that accountability is a necessary part.
Good thing I didn't take that trade on my
entire
account.
Organization healthier.
I'm actually not going to trade anything else for the rest of the day because
I'm encouraged that the FDIC has begun the process of holding SVB.
what, $2, bro? Can I make $2?
No Fed employee has been fired, put on probation, put on performance improvement plan, all of which would be expected in the private sectors I just mentioned with employee failure. Please explain to me why Fed employees are held to a different standard from my perspective than everyone else, and what are you planning to do to take accountability for Fed failures in supervision?
Riding this up.
So
this is
we've
exactly
actually done
what
quite a
bounce
lot
from.
in response to the events associated with Silicon Valley Bank. So we've done many, many things. In terms of specific accountability, what we found was this was not a case of malfeasance or nonfeasance so much. It was a case of people were carrying out a specific playbook that failed to cause us to act in time for these things. So it wasn't actually particularly fair to the employees to say you violated our practices in some way. That wasn't really what happened. What happened was, I would say, a lot of focus on process and on governance and controls, and not enough focus on basic bread and butter banking, credit risk, liquidity risk, interest rate risk, things like that. So, and as we discussed yesterday, we took very substantial steps to avoid further spread of those issues, and that was successful. But I understand your point on accountability.
Because this is one of the areas where you see the approach to looking at safety and soundness, and with the number of MRAs that went really documented, but no action was taken, that leads me to the conclusion that individual employees, supervisors, should have been held accountable for that.
This is building
I'll
up a
move
lot
on,
of
though.
liquidity right now,
In
is
the
what I
past,
feel,
we've
to be
supported
honest.
tailoring regulations so that we ensure banks of different sizes thrive and to preserve our diverse banking system. Will you commit to working with me as chairman to make sure that financial regulations do not impose more burden than is necessary? I'll say that this comes after a number of conversations with community banks and regional banks that have continued to stress that the cost
Ultimate
of the
target
regulatory
is
framework around them isn't just
21,850
oppressive. Larger banks suggest that
basically.
the cost per employee for the regulatory framework is $10,000
Wow, there
per
we go.
employee. I think we can do better, and would love to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah.
Right, first of all, I will commit to working with you on that. We do try to avoid excessive
Another
burden.
2-minute
Look, I
EMA
think
bounce.
it's fair to take a fresh look on, frankly, on debanking. I think we all see, both in your hearing and in the one on the House side, we hear a lot of people talking about that. And it's time to take a fresh look. I think we don't intentionally
I think we're
do
going to
these
come up
things,
to
but
this
sometimes regulation leads things to happen. And we need
supply
to be,
level
we
up
need to be
here.
working on that.
I appreciate that, and I'll turn over to the ranking member. I'll say this, after
I'm
having
going
a
long.
number of conversations with CEOs of banks around the country, one of the things that was made clear
Oh,
to me
crap.
with specific statement from the CEOs is that the regulatory OCC and other regulatory agencies said specifically to debank certain industries. And that is the point that I'm making, and one that I think we have to solve. If it's legal in America to do business, we should do our part to make sure that they're banked.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So over the weekend, Co-President Musk and Acting Director Vogt effectively shut down CFPB. No more cop on the beat looking out for a family of 4 in South Carolina facing an illegal foreclosure. No more cop on the beat looking out for your grandma whose bank account has just been taken over by a scammer. No more cop on the beat looking out for people getting ripped off by giant credit card companies that are charging illegal junk fees. It also means that the CFPB is no longer doing one of its most important jobs, examining big banks to root out illegal conduct before it happens, or at least stop it before more people get hurt. Chair Powell, if the CFPB isn't on the job right now, then who is administering JP Morgan or Wells Fargo's consumer compliance exams to ensure that they are following the law?
Senator, I believe that, and you would know, that Dodd-Frank moved all authority for examinations in the consumer space to the CFPB. We still
I
have
think we're
some
going to
jurisdiction.
We'll
flush.
talk about that in a sec. But the answer to my question, please. If the CFPB is
Oh,
not
there we
there
go.
examining these giant banks to make sure they are following the laws on not cheating consumers, who
We need
is doing
15
that job?
points.
I can say no other federal regulator.
No one, in other words. So thanks to Co-President Musk and CFPB
Okay.
Acting Director Vogt, Wall Street banks
I'm
no
done
longer
on
have
this
to show
account.
bank
I'm not
examiners
trading
that they're
for the rest of the day.
illegally
Locked it
opening
out.
accounts people
$2.95.
didn't ask for, like happened with Wells Fargo, or charging
Literally need
illegal
to make another
junk fees like
$35. I'm not going to risk another
Bank of America did.
$35.
But CFPB
I'll trade
has
tomorrow.
jurisdiction only on
Um,
banks that have more than $10 billion in assets.
Look at it.
So
Just
what's
hidden.
happening in thousands of
There we
community
go.
banks all
There
around
we
the
go.
country those that have less than $10 billion.
Damn, look
in
at that. And that's where my
in
thing was
assets.
as well, man.
So Chair Powell, as you know, the Fed oversees consumer compliance for state member banks that have less than $10 billion in assets.
It's all good.
Has the Fed suspended consumer compliance exams for those smaller banks, or is the Fed still on the smaller banks are following consumer financial laws?
Still on the job. Business as usual.
982.5.
All right. By forcing the CFPB not to do its job, President Trump, Elon Musk,
791.
and the author of Project 2025, Russ Vought, are giving Wall Street banks an unlimited
Oh, I should have done it for 50%. No, that's 50%.
They can cheat working families. Even
Crazy.
community banks continue to play by the rules. You know, for any Americans who have money deposited at JP Morgan or Wells Fargo or any other of the giant banks, they should now know that there is no one on the job to make sure that those banks are not scamming.
Oh, that was fast. I thought it was Naya.
Only the smaller banks now have a cop on the beat to make sure that they
I think I've ever been to in my life. I just stepped in.
They said
to the test in advance.
yeah. I can request 791.
Right here in this meeting that you would not give those banks the
I probably will
whole
do it, actually.
I'm going to quote you back. You said, complete knowledge of the models could lead to a model monoculture in
Probably
which
coming up
all
to this
firms have
one.
similar internal stress testing models, which
Again.
can increase the correlation of risk in the system and miss key idiosyncratic risks faced by the firms. I agree with you. But several weeks ago, the Fed announced that it has plans to do exactly that, hand all of the answers over to giant banks. Chair Powell, why is the Fed about to propose a rule that directly contradicts your own testimony and in your own words would render the stress tests toothless?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna trade this tomorrow. Just so I have a bit more drawdown when it comes to, well, a bit more payout, to be honest. I'd like to get, let's say we're at 2,000.
Well, the changes are changes you've identified
2,500
earlier as making those
divided by
tests
2.
Look, the big banks are
1,250.
shareholder payouts and leave this economy more vulnerable to a crash.
1,250.
The Fed is knuckling under to bank lobbyists. We know how this ends.
Yeah.
People will suffer. Wall
I think I'll go
Street
for
will
it.
get bailed out.
And
I
request
urge
tomorrow.
you, Chair,
The rest of the
to
accounts. This is a brand new account. Do we
Wall
need?
Street. Don't make these rules.
Thank you. Senator Rounds?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Mr. Chairman, thank you for coming.
Maybe I'll
before the
trade this
committee. I
account,
appreciate
actually.
the opportunity to visit with you. I've got a series of questions, but I
This
would
is a
like to give you
supply
an
zone.
opportunity, if
But
you
I'd
would
need a
like.
2-minute.
The suggestion that the
to-
ranking member has made here is that the big banks can now scam individuals right now.
To
Any change
fall
in the
here.
laws regarding how they're supposed to be treating the individual
I'm gonna
consumers
delete
out there or
this
anything along that
level,
line?
maybe.
Law changes? No, I'm not aware of
Any
any
changes, any rules that they would have to follow?
Not that I'm aware of.
Are they still audited, and do they still have the regulators in watching all of their businesses just as they did before?
Well, they'd have all the regulators except for the CFPB.
Very
If in fact, in the hypothetical, the CFPB weren't carrying that out.
Anything else you'd like to add before we move on?
No, we're good. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
835.
As we continue to prioritize the stability and the resilience of our financial system, the ongoing Basel III rulemaking process has remained front and center in shaping our regulatory framework. Now, I guess I was rather outspoken with my opposition to the original proposal, and further work was stalled at the end of the last year. Mike,
Yeah,
I
I
guess my
think you
question
just
for
said
you
this,
today, sir, is
25
could you
points.
provide an update on the Federal Reserve's progress in finalizing the Basel III Endgame rulemaking process?
I'd be glad to. So we remain committed to completing Basel III Endgame. We think it's good for U.S. banks. It's good for our economy that there be a global standard beneath which foreign banks can't fall. And that was one of the big ideas.
I'm just
behind
taking a
the whole
supply
Basel
zone
III
rejection to
approach.
see
So
if it
we're-
actually
where it
works,
sits now
but
is we
of
await,
course we are
leadership
bullish
arrival
and
arriving
everything,
at the
so
OCC and the FDIC, and that seems to be happening. And when that happens, we're going to sit down with them and work our way through to a Basel III Endgame proposal. And I think we can do this reasonably quickly. One
yeah, I
that
think
is
it's just
compliant
flashing
and
it.
consistent with the Basel requirements, and also consistent with what other large
I have to
jurisdictions
watch
are
out
doing.
for
I'm
this
optimistic that
2-minute,
we can do that fairly
which
quickly.
I can watch on this one, but I'll watch out for
We
it
always
here.
wanted our banks to be competitive.
We're
with
extended from the
European banks.
EMAs
I'm
as
just
well,
curious, the original proposal.
but
that,
we might not even
was
come
in
back
front
to
of you,
this.
and I'd like your thoughts on this. It was estimated to increase our bank's capital by 19%, which I think may very well have.
Yeah, it's
created
building a
potential
base here, so it's gonna
disadvantage
shoot up.
in the U.S. institutions versus our European counterparts. With any new proposal, what's your thoughts? Would you make a commitment that this would be a neutral approach with regard to capital?
The main commitment I'll make is we'll work together with new leadership at the other banking agencies to do something. But that's certainly, you know, I've said many times in this committee that I think that the level of capital in the largest banks is about right, and so it'll shake out somewhere in that area. I would
Our
guess.
expectation would be, and the markets would expect that it would be neutral with regard to capital.
In that range, but I want to defer to our new colleagues and get their views as well. But that's a good starting place.
Okay, thank you. The Federal Reserve's partnership with the U.S. Treasury plays a central role in supporting our nation's payment.
I added to my position. Let's see if that was a mistake or not.
Range of daily transactions, from federal benefit disbursements to debt obligations. Could you outline the Federal Reserve's role in supporting and managing the Treasury's payment systems, including how the Fed works to keep these systems
This is just a
secure,
supply zone
efficient,
rejection,
and
to be
capable of
honest.
handling the government's high volume of daily
I'm
transactions?
worried about this level.
It's a complicated set of arrangements, and I'll try to summarize.
Up
it
3
quickly.
points,
Effectively,
7
Congress authorized
points.
spending, and then the agencies carry
If
out
we
those
don't
spending
bounce
orders.
here,
And when the way
Yep,
they do
see?
that is they send an order to pay a payee, a recipient, to the Treasury Department. Upstream, before it gets to the Fed, all of these decisions are made about, is this an appropriate order? Is this payee on the don't pay list, and all those things. Once all of that is set, it comes to the Fed, and by that I mean 4 or so of the reserve
I want to
banks.
move it to
We
5
initially make
points,
the
and at
payment,
least that's
we take the money out
$200.
of the Treasury General account. and
Still
we
got a
make
minute on
payments.
this candle.
We make
I'll
no
move it up here,
judgments
3
whatsoever.
points.
Those are all made upstream from us. And
Oh,
we are
no.
the fiscal agent of the Treasury.
Damn.
Confirm for me today, is the system safe today?
I believe it is.
Short
I will tell
again.
you, we are very strongly committed.
I think that just
to
kinda just wicked me
efficiency,
out.
Resilience and all those things of this system, and people do depend on
Let's
this.
go
in a big way.
20
We're committed
points.
to that.
One last question for you, sir. The failure of Silicon Valley Bank, and the chairman brought this up. I'm just curious, recognizing a lot of banks out there looked at this, it cost the other banks in the system a lot of money to pick up the costs involved in the losses. Nobody's been fired, but you did indicate that it was a failure in the playbook. Has the playbook been revised, or can we expect that it will be revised?
In a lot of ways, it's been revised. Yes,
1975.
I can go into some details. I mean, we're one thing that didn't happen was, for example, the supervisors didn't follow through aggressively enough on things that they'd said. If they'd done that,
See,
could well have been enough.
I was just worried that it just wicked me out.
To stop it. Yeah, but a lot of it was just not
220.
focusing enough.
We're
directly
bouncing
on
again, though.
What was a very large amount of interest rate risk, a large portfolio of long-term securities matched up with an unstable funding base. And somehow people wrote about that, not the Fed, but others wrote publicly about this, but somehow we don't expect bank runs outside of a crisis in this country. And that's what that was. It was a bank run, and bank runs are incredibly damaging. I think everyone learned a lot from that and is determined to do better.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, I shouldn't really be looking for shorts. Like CBC hasn't flipped on the 2 minute. but I am looking for a supply rejection, which is we're on a supply right now, but price is bullish. So I mean, I should have taken my quick points, I guess,
Senator Cortez Master.
and moved to break even. But let's see how this
Chairman Powell,
plays out.
Thank you, and thank you always for the conversations in between these hearings as well. Let me focus on a couple of things of concern, and you touched on a little bit of this, and I think this is important to clarify. There was a change in the law when CFPB was created. The CFPB examines the banks and enforces the law, whereas the Fed only supervises those banks. Is that correct? Or how would you determine that relationship?
With CFPB. So Dodd-Frank took a lot of the consumer compliance jurisdiction away from the other banking agencies and gave it to a new.
Yeah, we're gonna rip to new highs. I think we're gonna come up here.
As we just discussed, which was banks under 10 billion in assets.
Yeah.
The CFPB essentially took all of that when Dodd-Frank came into being.
So as it was created, when
We're gonna rip to new highs, but my risk is defined anyway. That's gonna be 300 down for the day, and then I'm gonna lock this account
So we
out.
still retain supervision.
Yeah, look, it
of
wants to.
holding
Yeah,
companies and also of Fed
it's all good though.
And
Risk is
let me ask you
defined.
this then, does the Federal Reserve
is
enforce consumer protection laws
20
now
points,
for things
maybe?
like money transmitters?
I don't even know.
For money.
That would be the consumer
for Fed
protection. That would be
member banks.
CFPB.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
And
right.
so when we're talking about collaborating with
21
CFPB,
points.
For financial
But we're just chopping
technology
around here,
firms,
so it's cause of
what
concern.
would
Like I
the
said,
Fed Reserve now
supply
do
zone
with the
rejection
CFPB?
is really what I want.
Hypothetical is the CFPB no longer exists. What would be the Fed's role right now with respect to technology firms?
We don't have jurisdiction over, we have jurisdiction over banks and some
And
financial
that's it.
market utilities.
So
Yeah,
let me
there
ask
we
you this,
go.
because I know there's a number of Nevadans who file consumer reports
How annoying.
of concerns about fraud and creditors with the CFPB. The Fed Reserve doesn't receive those reports, correct?
No, I don't believe
And
so.
you have no role when it comes to consumer protection, like the CFPB does, correct?
Unless you're a Fed member bank that has 10 billion or less in assets, then
That's boring me now. I don't like these wicks. Like, that's my concern. Like, it just keeps wicking me out, bro. Like, what the hell? Where are the EMAs on the 10-minute chart is what? EMAs are down at 21,800. Yeah, I'm just being biased, to be honest, right here. I'm being biased to this supply rejection. I want it to play out, which is annoying, and at least come back down to the EMAs. But yeah, I'm just being a little bit biased. Yeah, the EMA is already strong. Down 600. What's my settings at? Oh, I took it off. Oh, we took it off of everything. Okay. So annoying. Like, what is this? Wait, so I don't know. Next short would be at this 50% line, which would be in line with this up here. There we go. Let's see if we get a quick rejection or if it's just going to keep shooting up, which it looks like it wants to do. 50% rejection. I'll take 20 points is back down here, but of course I'm going to be trailing it. Come on, son. Oh. I broke all my rules today, man. I'm definitely not trading the other accounts. Liquidity, sweep. I've got to get out of here. I haven't done any work today. Yeah. Bro, just stop me out. There was no CBC flip. I shouldn't have taken a trade. Like, bro, like, give me 50 points, homie. Now I'm wishing and praying, which is the wrong thing to be doing. You know, we've just been trending all day, and now I'm thinking, oh yeah, I'm wishing and praying. With up 5 points, that's 200. Give me 10 points though, man. Yeah, it's gonna pump up. 25 points is break even. So if I go 30. Yeah, buys are too strong. Yeah. Unfortunate. I'm gonna lock my other accounts just so I don't trade them today. Yeah, lock this out. Lock this out. No point. There's no point trading to lose another account. Any other accounts. You and you are in the same boat now. Damn, bro. Look at this stick. I mean, it gave us a thing, but I'm deleting that. Maybe we come up to previous day high or whatever. I don't know. Why was I so biased? Pulled back into the EMAs. This is my long setup. Why was I so biased? I don't know why I was so biased, to be honest. Rejection will probably come to 80s or to previous day high. We're above 50% now. If we get back below 50%, then I'll go short. But right now we are strong. Literally need like 40 points or something. I even said like I'm not going to trade any other accounts after I made that one trade, and then I still went and traded. I should have locked my account so it didn't pressure me into trading. We're above 50%. Volume isn't really doing anything. We have a bill breaker coming up. We rallied. Doesn't want to pull back. It didn't pull back to this. It's been going along with it. Pardon me. I mean, I did get a pullback here and I didn't take it. It's fine. What the hell, bro? But now you want to be giving it 1 minute 35 seconds. Is this the short? Nah. Wow. Wow. Yeah, we're taking it. Oh my god, bro. What the hell, man? What the hell? I got $600 of drawdown left. What the hell, bro? Below 50%, bro. I thought it was just trying to get me to. This is just frustrating, man. This is just frustrating. I'm gonna have to change my thing, man, to charts and data. Dollars. Flipping out, man. Oh, are you kidding me? Ah, that was bad. Bro, why am I being so biased, man? What is going on? Oh, this account's gone, man. swear I would have hated if I just wicked me out and then went back down. Look at me. This is me hoping and praying. This is terrible trading that I'm doing on my part here, which is just so bad. Like it's just terrible. Like absolutely terrible. And we've gotten 0 pullbacks, and it's just frustrating me to the absolute core. Really and truly, like 1500 break even is right here. That's break even. Do we get break even? I don't even know. Yeah, look, we just keep wicking. So if this has happened to me before, we probably continue pushing high into maybe previous day high. I personally thought this would have been like an inside day. I didn't expect any kind of trend or anything to be happening today, if I'm totally honest. Here we go, 280, making some of the loss back, I guess. But I'd need, I want, and I'm hoping, hoping and praying is a terrible strategy because it's above 50%. The next imbalance for it to fill is at 21,895, which it could actually do. But I'm going to take that off my charts now. Just like I took this one off my chart. You filled 50%. We are good with that. And again, the EMAs are very strong. We haven't had a flip on the flip short on the 2-minute EMAs. So I should not be trading shorts. So, I mean, it's my fault why I'm losing. I could have taken long entry here, long entry here. It's provided long entry, and there was no closes below it or anything like that. So, you know, I shouldn't have been doing that, honestly. So, I mean, now it's just a thing of let's see what happens. Got $600 of drawdown left. Not gonna give it back. We are up. Once we become up 20 points, then I'll move. 20 points is here. 30 points is here. Guessing this is 40 points. 50 points is here. $20 points, 30 points, 50 points is here. Finally, a pullback. Take 400, take that off, down 1,000. I'll take 500. It's probably going to wick and bounce here. This is 20 points. I'll take one off here at the 20s. But we could just get an aggressive bounce like right there. 811. Boom. We'll take one off there. Oh yeah, see, bounced. Wow. Wow, bro, ski. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna close this. Let's go short again. Just 300. Not 250. Doesn't want to break this, does it? No, it doesn't. We'll move this break even. Delete, delete, delete. I'll be flipping on the 10-minute. Doesn't look like it. Oh my god, are you kidding me, bro? Oh my god, what the hell? I feel like we're gonna bounce up. Come on, pop up a little bit more so I can get a better entry. So I don't want to short it right here just in case it just flipping wicks me up and just takes me out. Are you my friend? Are you locked in? So step this way, step that way. Bro, some people are some really good traders, man. Like, flipping hell, dog. Like, bro. 9. I don't know. Let's go long. This is just a quick pop to see if it works. And I would take that 500 if it's a quick pop. But I am expecting continuation short. This was just a quick pop to just see what would happen, where your minds are at. Come on. Come on. Come on. Push up a little bit. Damn. That was it. Damn. Okay, NQ short. Take one off here. Take the next one off down here. I mean, that was a bad trade. I should have waited and then gone short. But yeah, it's not prior to a pivot, so I don't know. This is the candle, but it used to say it wants to come down some. 250. Come on, son. Come on, son. Come down to 815. Right here. Come tap this EMA. Come tap it. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Oh my God, are you actually kidding me? It's so long. What does price want to do? Okay, so price wants to continue lower. Okay, now CPC has flipped and we're in the 2-minute EMAs. So I am gonna go short. According to the CBC. And then hopefully I can get a little move here. 20-point gain right here. Take 400 off. Come on. At 820. I don't even know if he wants to even tap the EMA, which is just crazy, bro. I don't know what this line is. What is this line? I don't know what that line is. 820. I don't know what that line is. I'm gonna remove it. Oh crap. Come on, man. Give me a break. 25-point gain NQ. Yeah, we're gonna pump back up. Come on, bro. Look at this, man. Like, if we can just break down, I believe it will come. See, I believe. I mean, I'm following candle by candle anyway. We're up. We was up 100. Like, I don't even know if I should even take it, man. Like I don't know, dog. BBC is short on the 10-minute. Like, you know, those prices want to come down to VWAP. I don't know. We are chopping around. That's like, here we go. I'll take 100, man. I don't know what's happening with this market. I'm just not even gonna be greedy or anything. I'm just taking whatever it gives me. But this is a pivot right here. Let's see if it comes flushing. I don't know. Oh, what is that wick, bro? It's gonna just wick up now. Oh, London's about to close in like 15 minutes. Yeah, it's gonna pump. Probably. This is EMA looks like it's curling down. Yeah. Out of that. Damn, bro. Like, how you feel me so bad? Yeah, nah. So now you want to flip and go up when I wanted to go up before. Let's go. We are going long. Oh my god, I'm getting chopped around, bro. Oh my god, we're just getting the breakdown now. Fucking hell, why did I reverse my position? Why did I reverse my position? Oh my god, why did I reverse my position? Oh, I'm on tilt today, man. I am on fucking tilt today, bro. This ain't even good, man. Oh, flipping hell, man. Really? Really, bro. Really, bro. I'm down. Oh my god, bro. Are you kidding me? Are you actually just kidding me? Oh my god, bro. This is not good, man. I just got this account as well. There we go. It's blown. Yeah. Oh. I said I wasn't gonna trade this fucking account, man. I'm locking everything up all day. Yes. Oh Lord have mercy, bro. Look at that now. I broke every like one of my rules today. Fucking bro, trading is not easy, man.